Welcome to the WolfShadePodcast. I'm your host, WolfShade. I'm sorry to come at you guys an episode at the last minute. I am very tired right now, but we're coming at you for episode 51, and I'm coming at you with a very awesome episode. One of a good friend of mine. I'm bringing you a good episode in between the cosplay season, and yeah, she's a very renowned cosplayer. She's cosplay a lot of characters from different animes. I think I think one of them was Farron, right? Because I think
Yeah.
that's her name, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of cosplays like Demon Slayer, different types of animes. I know I suck at intros, but I let her introduce herself. This is Miss JME Cosplays.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I've been cosplaying for about 2 years now. And I have done a bunch of different shows. I think my most recent being Frieren. Um, and right now I'm actually working on Shinobu, so that's exciting.
So what's up? Okay, so you've been cosplaying the same length I have because I really never took cosplay seriously instead of like recently because I've been trying to like going to conventions and other stuff too because I've been going to a lot of conventions more than I do cosplay because we both got Otakon coming up, so
You're
it'll be hmm?
you're telling me it's coming quick. Anticipate.
It's like 5 months from now, and this will be number what 23 for me. What about you?
Like total convention wise?
No, total like Otakon.
Um, can you hold on? Can you repeat?
So I said 23 because this will be my 23rd Otakon, even though it will be the 30th anniversary this year.
This will be your 23rd Otakon.
Yep, going since 2001 because my dad took me before.
Oh, that's awesome though. This is actually my third.
Okay, so you're still a baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's been calling people that's been going to Otakon a long time like old heads. I was like, I'm not that old, but I
Hmm.
guess I'll take it. But
Veteran. That's what it is.
it's funny. So I just like I just take I would be like I'll just take the old head comment because it just feels unique for some reason. Because
Yeah.
next year Katsu will be the 21 for me.
Hmm.
So I was like, dang, because like it'll be the 30th for Katsu next year. I was like, well, let's hope no drama ensues in that one, but let's just have fun out of the way. But how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's just been a really busy day, but other than that, really productive as well.
That's good. That's good. Just like productive work wise or just getting cosplays and stuff done.
Productive work-wise and just getting errands done and things of that nature and just focusing also on taking care of like my physical and mental health on top of that, which can become very tiresome, especially when you're working, full time and trying to balance cosplay on top of it and things like that.
To be honest, I understand the feeling because for some reason my timing has been weird when it comes to cosplay. It's just I'd be like, okay, I'm a cosplay this character, then I just completely change my train. I'll be like, nah, I can wait for something else because I'm gonna be too lazy to do this if I got like certain scheduled things to take care of. And then not only that, I got, of course, season three of this because we like what 16 episodes in because you're the lucky number 16. And I was just like, because the goal of mine was to bring a lot of cosplayers on board, which I'm mighty surprised about because a lot of people cosplay wise don't like to talk on podcasts when I know them sometimes, unless they know the person. Like you got to know me for a little bit, even though you just know me as that worm guy. So I I try not to keep a good impression of that just based off a dance move, but it's just like me based off of like, what I post in my stories and stuff like that, and from all the other events from, Anime Alliance and all the other stuff too. So, it's good to blissfully finally get to know you on a first name basis, even though I thought, the Instagram name was just, you know, how my name is Wolf Shade. I thought it was just that, but I didn't know your name was actually
Yeah, I thought it would be like a fun play on words. How I know a lot of people have cosplay names. So it was like my actual name's Jamie. And for me personally, I think coming up with a different name, I wouldn't respond if someone called me something different. I'd be like, who are you talking to? Oh, wait, that's supposed to be me. So I just did JME, Jamie. Thought it was easy
That's
enough.
I mean, it's more easier than expected because like coming from a dude who sucks badly, I just understanding names is just like, okay, it's simple. So
It's
and
3 letters.
yeah, and it's just like, okay, it's 3 letters, then I understand what I can do from there and kind of get an understanding of, people's, stories and stuff like that. Because do you kind of know what the premises of this whole thing like podcast is?
Is it just to overall meet new people and
It's not just that because like I'm trying to like bring like a sort of influence to other people that's trying to get into the same thing as other people do. So that's the kind of like one of the main goals of this thing. But above all, just the talk and everything too. Because I always tell people if I get you on here, the episode's about you, ain't about me. Because like we get sidetracked, that's on us. So is mainly about that. Because like I'm trying to look at it, more of a influence quarter than everything. So that's what I'm trying to do. The basis of this podcast and everything, which has been getting good traction so far. But I'm not really focused on that. I'm just trying to focus on influencing others and everything too, and kind of like put PSAs out there. Just make sure people have fun with
Mhm.
doing cosplay and have fun doing what they love to do and kind of be mindful of certain setbacks and everything too. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen the episodes recently, but like just kind of those mindsets. Like we all know how the cosplay, community works. You got, some of those that, be awesome influence people. They don't mind influence people regardless of like the followings and stuff like that. They just want to influence people regardless of everything. And then you got those three set ignorant people. So we'll talk about that later, but you get what I mean. But
I
that's
do.
the whole purpose of this podcast is for because people always be like, "Oh, you seem arrogant when you do your podcast." I was like, me of all people. Now I can't cap. Back when I was in high school, when we played football, yes, I was arrogant, but we kept winning, so I felt like I had a reason to. But at the end, I wasn't arrogant to people that be like, "Oh, you suck. You can't make it in this thing." Like, no, I can't. I don't do that. Like, I rather influence people and kind of just do that type of thing. But that kind of goes. I'm going along like one of the questions. This is like why we do what we do. But why do you cosplay? Like, what's your reasoning?
My reasoning, I've always loved dressing up. So I absolutely loved it. When I was younger, I actually worked at a haunted house. I always thought that was fun. I loved Halloween. I loved just dressing up on different occasions. Um, I fell out of watching anime for a while. I watched it
Mm-hmm.
in middle school, then fell out of it when I got into high school. Then towards the end of college, got back. When I came back home after college, um, started really watching again with my brother, and we went to a convention after the COVID restrictions had been lifted. And I think this was when the mask ban had also been lifted if you were vaccinated at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So my first convention I had gone to, it was AwesomeCon 2022. We went, just walked around, had a great time, and I was like, wow, like I kind of feel out of place just being in normal clothes. So then for Otakon 2022, that was the first time I cosplayed, and I just had such a fun time. I felt like it was very welcoming, and it was just really nice to also, especially for your first time, have people notice your character and want to take pictures with you, and just to feel like you were surrounded by people with a lot of common interests as well, which is something I also struggle with kind of growing up and going through college, that nature.
Okay. All right, that makes sense because I understand, the notion of, just wanting to dress up and everything and just kind of oh, these glasses hurt my eyes. Um, or just kind of I guess getting out there if that makes sense. Not technically, but just trying to, dress up because you loved it regardless of everything too. So I understand where you're coming from with that. Because it was always fun dressing up as certain characters despite certain conditions, heat for me. But
Oh yeah.
I mainly I told people like when just cosplaying during the summer, I was like, look, I am not changing into anything to wait to get inside a convention till I get in there.
Hmm.
Because I will have like the stuff I would have on like bottom wise, like pants and stuff, and just have a shirt on. And then once I get in there, just put the coat on, just call it a day. But above
Yes.
all, I can't because this is why because at Katsu this year I was freezing because I didn't have much stuff on.
Hmm.
But I mainly take care of stuff like during the winter and I guess you can say the fall and I guess sometimes spring too since spring just started. But above all, summer I love the conventions during the summer, but I can't do it because it just be too hot. Because I know it's gonna be too hot during the summer, especially in August. So
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all.
I never do. It's just I was talking to somebody about this like not too long ago before I got on here with you, and he was like, despite us both just cosplaying because we both been cosplaying at the same time, but we known each other for 12 years. And he was like, like when it comes to cosplay, like, like what type of cosplay do you consider yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. You kind of just froze on me. I didn't get to hear what you were saying.
Oh no,
I
I was
heard,
saying you said I froze on you?
yeah, yeah. I heard you and your friend knew each other for 12 years, and that's the last part I had heard.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember. I was saying like, we also was going back and forth on what kind of cosplayers we consider ourselves. But like what kind of cosplay do you consider yourself? I didn't think that was a type. It was a type. I just think we love cosplaying as characters. I didn't think it was a type.
Right? Okay, I was talking about this with my friend the other day, and I think I always end up tending to cosplay characters with white hair. I don't know what the trend is, but I always pick those, or just like I don't know. I was looking at my Instagram and I was like, do I give off like a vibe with what characters I pick and choose? And I was like, okay, looking at each character's personality, Uno Hana, very intimidating, scary, not happy looking. Kaine, doesn't smile. Tubi doesn't really smile. I was like, wait a
Hmm.
minute. I feel like people aren't gonna think I'm a happy person.
I just noticed for me, I just cosplay I just cosplay like comedic relief characters like Mr. Hagane from Demon Slayer and Toby from Naruto before he became serious. It's just more
Yeah.
comedic relief characters because that's what I see myself as sometimes. But it's just I noticed those characters are well loved, and then I noticed that they're very easy to cosplay too because I was thinking of like kind of going to like a serious type of thing. Yeah, like what's his name? Gabi Maro from Hell's Paradise. That's what I'm
Oh
kind
yeah.
of thinking of doing next because I literally just finished the anime and I didn't want to wait for season two, so I just read the whole manga.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, man, this is a dedicated character right here. So I just kind of just set like in the comedic relief aspect of things right now. And like it involves the cosplay. Is this like more this is more like kind of like a hobby or so, say you see yourself doing for longer than 10 years?
I would hope so. I really like it as a hobby. I definitely would not want to do it as a career. While some people I know, it's great they do it as a career, and if they love it, to each their own. But I wouldn't want it to kind of drain the joy and fun out of it for me.
Mm, I would say for me, I would say probably, but I'm not really fully in tune on cosplaying for a long while because I got this going on. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm trying to fully in tune with that because with season one, I had like actors and MMA fighter, like voice actors left and right. Like I was on a roll, and then season two, I was on a roll for a little bit, but kind of just took a break from this. So that's why that season's very short. So I was saying to myself, I'm very mighty surprised. I got a lot of episodes in on this one, but just mainly focusing on the podcast and trying to finish my manga and everything. Because like obviously you've seen I've been trying to just been working on JJK stuff instead of my own actual stuff because it's kind of like a block right now, to be honest, because I got nothing to, design. Obviously, how those block goes because I hate being in a block and not having anything to work on, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
It just sucks. You said what?
I understand.
Yeah,
That was a lot. I understand.
it it just sucks from that type of thing. And then, when it comes to cosplay, it was like a kind of thing that I was thinking of myself because like I usually prefer to work alone sometimes on cosplay too.
Mhm.
It's just for me above all. But like, do you prefer to like work in a group or you prefer to work alone to kind of like I say get certain shots in? Because obviously the stuff I've seen, you've been sometimes you work with people, some majority of stuff you work alone too. Like what do you prefer morally?
Hmm. Honestly, I think it depends on the vibe of the character. But if I had to pick, and it's also depending on what group you're with, I'd probably pick a group just because I've noticed, I mean, even if you're doing single shots and you have friends come with you, it's really nice to have those people help you and touch up like your hair if your hair is tangled or helping hold a prop or things of that nature. But with the group shots, yeah, depending on what people you're with and depending on the vibes of the characters, it can just be a lot of fun. For example, like when I'm with my friend Lils and we do Fern and Fern, it's just a lot of fun just because we're pretty much similar to those characters and we're just acting like ourselves, just kind of doing whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would say the same thing. I mean, I'm trying to get into more group aspect of things, kind of working on it a little bit is normally by myself. Kind of got a lot of good shots working by myself. And then like
Yeah.
a lot of like group shots I've been trying to do sometimes. We never get stuff done. That's the main issue with just groups of me.
Yeah.
It's just for it's like for me, it's like, okay, let's try and get this done. And then I could just say, I'm usually the one that just kind of blurts random things. I just throw everybody off. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. I'm just saying she got a nice cosplay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why y'all laughing. I'm just being honest. And it's just like we normally can't get stuff done as a group. That's why I kind of like, it's kind of funny working in groups sometimes. Not saying I dislike it. It's just funny for me at least. And it's just kind of morally going into is just that's conversation I was having with my friend normally. Like kind of for him, he says like working in groups kind of like a pet peeve thing because we can't get stuff done. I was like,
Ah.
okay. I was like, okay, I get what you mean by that. But why do I gotta be lumping into this? He's like, bro, you be saying the most random stuff for us to not get SHIT done. So I'm like, yeah, you got a point. And that kind of goes like now that I mentioned like pet peeves and all that, obviously every cosplayer has, pet peeves and all that. I mean, mine's is just, I guess thinking that you're better than the obvious person. That's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. Cause for me, I don't think I'm better than everybody. I'm just trying to have fun. But people think acting arrogant to other people, thinking that they are better than other cosplayers when we're just a one the same is the one that's kind of a pet peeve to me. What about you?
I 100% agree with that. I think at the end of the day, once we take cosplay out of the equation, we're all human. We all need the same general things. We all need air, we all have blood that runs through our veins. I think once we start, I just never like that because we all like to dress up as fictional characters. Like I don't like that. But one of my pet peeves, I will say, in regards to cosplay, is ironing cosplays. That is just one thing I've noticed recently. just
I never seen it as a pet peeve. It really wasn't an issue for me because it's just you. You know, I know depending on the character, I get that. But it's just like, okay, pants, straighten it out, iron it. That's pretty much it. Um, Let me use the Akatsuki cloak from Naruto as an example. Like you iron a cloak, straighten it out, iron it. I didn't really think much of it. I didn't think that was a pet peeve.
it's more just so like when people don't iron their clothes. That's the only thing. I sometimes it's just one thing that does kind of draw my eye. I was like, oh, that's kind of wrinkly. That could look a bit better, but I'm not going to be that person to. That's just something that I tend to notice because I never used to iron my cosplays. And once I got my photos back, it's just something I had noticed in my photos. I was like, man, I wish I would have done that better. And then I would like this a bit more.
True, true, true. Yeah, it's just something I guess you got a point. I really never paid attention to. It's like, but I kind of was like, okay, I should pay attention to this now. If you get what I mean, if that makes sense. Hold on, guys, we're dealing with some technical difficulties. Oh,
Recording in progress.
Oh, man.
what happened? Oh,
Like cut out for some reason.
oh yeah, yeah. I was about to say I literally fixed all the things on here, so your thing won't be acting up too. I mean, it happens. Now
Yeah.
the real question is, now that I just hear that, will it split it apart? Because that's a pretty funny moment. Because I was frozen for a good minute too. I was like, okay, this choosing to act up today. But back to what I was saying. It's like kind of that certain. I didn't really never thought of it as a pet peeve. Now that you said that, because I never really thought of certain stuff being iron. Because obviously, taking pictures, you're gonna get it wrinkled again. So after that,
Mhm,
it's like why kind of like you know take a focus on it if that makes sense.
mhm.
Because obviously it happens and all that, and then that kind of mainly the pet peeve for me is like just getting expensive stuff. That's the main thing for me because getting expensive stuff is really a pain sometimes, even though it's really easy for me to get deals and stuff. But it's just like, if I gotta get this custom made, I'm gonna have no choice but to get this custom made. If you get what I mean, because I
I
know
do.
expensive stuff is really annoying to you too.
It is. It is, or just knowing you'll have to get something custom made depending on like the quality you want or if you want to spend the time making it or not as well. That's something I have been noticing recently. And cosplay has definitely gotten a lot more expensive than what it used to be.
Oh yeah, back in the simple times, it really ain't cost that much. I I miss those times, and look at me, about to be 29 years old. I hate this. Oh man, it's just times were so simple when it comes to that type of thing. It's like, why can't it be that simple now? And this is like, I don't mind paying for it. It's just, it just depends on who I get it made from. That's the that's more of a problem for me. Cause like I don't want to get it from an arrogant person that, it's kind of thinking, oh, I'm better than this person, like kind of just get it from me. No, I can't do that. That kind of like goes along the lines of like, trying to go all out for your favorite character or your favorite cosplay contest. Cause I'm sure you thinking you got many. I mean, you got that one thing that's your favorite, but you probably got too many that you can't choose from, probably.
Okay, I just disconnected from my Wi-Fi. Let me see if that's going to help out.
Uh,
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem.
oh no, 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 no! I ain't gonna say that because I gotta edit this in anyway. Because the only issue with that is just like, okay, is it gonna split the two parts of everything? So if it does, that's gonna kind of be annoying a bit. So it's fine. But I was saying earlier before you cut out a little bit is you got a favorite cosplay, project that you probably did, and you've done so many, but you can't choose one. Like, is that kind of like an issue with you too?
Yes. I think all the characters I tend to cosplay, I just really, there's different reasons I choose to cosplay them, and it just makes them unique in that kind of way. So I don't think I could really ever truly pick one to be my favorite, just because you also have different experiences in them when you're cosplaying them.
Yeah.
And sometimes those experiences I feel like add to that character for me. And it would just be so hard to choose and kind of compare which ones are favorites. Because they're favorites in different senses, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that makes sense. I I usually mm, I usually just shut up and roll the punches because I usually can't have like a specific favorite and everything too.
Yeah. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay.
I was about to say your phone don't like you today.
No, I had it on the don't the lock mode so it doesn't turn.
Oh, oh, I
Yeah.
always have I always have my stuff because I'm on my iPad right now. I always have my phone on the lock thing. So like for future reference, if you're doing something like this, always have like at least something separate. Because like
Yeah.
you don't want to record with your phone and then like all the stuff is going all over the place and then somebody calling you or something like that. I would say always have something separate because I learned that the hard way last time. So I try not to do that. So I would say, is there like a goal in mind, like any place in the world that you're trying to like do future cosplays at, like let's say Japan, South Korea, or Paris maybe?
Honestly, if I had to pick like a location where I could be choose any cosplay or like a dream shoot area, it would definitely be Germany.
Jeremy, somebody said that to me 2 minutes ago. That's funny. I know the reason why Germany, because Germany's a very beautiful place. It's like, her reason because of the buildings and stuff like that too. And then obviously as a gamer, I gotta come up with stupid jokes. I hate that, but I try not to from time to time because I always ask people, it's just morally like because one of the things we were talking about is like, how do you view yourself as a cosplayer? I believe you just answered that for me, right? I think you just said that, right?
I can't remember. Probably.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun editing. um, okay, since I think I don't know if I asked this, but like, how do you view yourself as a cosplayer?
I just view myself as just a normal person still. I don't view myself in any different way or hold
Hmm.
myself kind of different, I guess, standard. Although I just see myself, it's just a way to connect with people and just to have fun. And, if I can offer any tips or advice to help others, I'll gladly do that. And just, I don't like to, I agree. I don't like when people kind of, um, honestly, the way I describe it is they kind of act snobby sometimes.
I'll
And
let you get I'll let you continue that.
yeah, I just don't like that because at the end of the day, I just don't see myself any different than, someone who comes to a convention and isn't cosplaying.
See, I have such a bad history with other cosplayers who act specifically like you just described because I don't hesitate to call people out on social media. Is that a notion that I think is appropriate doing? No, it's not. But when you hear from other people that okay, this person continues doing this to other people and making this person feel bad, I don't stand by that.
Mm.
So it's not right doing that all the time on your social media. Like I get that, but I feel like some things are needed to be said sometimes. It's just that goes above like when somebody was asking, like, that's found my mind where I was like, what is cosplay to me? I mean, for me, it's just like I've normally just viewed it as just, me being myself, having fun, and at least try to influence people the best way I can. Because I always say to myself, I suck at influence. And then when somebody says, "Oh, I'm a fan of your work," and I just look at them like, "Who are you?" No, seriously, that's like the main thing all the time. Because I always say to myself, I was like, I don't think I'm better than anybody. It's just obviously, no matter what community you're in, there's gonna be those set few people that just don't like you for you being you. And I'm just like,
No, I 100% agree. And you said you played football earlier, right?
what do you want to know about that part?
I was just going to say I played soccer, so I completely understand. I've noticed a lot of people talking about how toxic the cosplay community has, but the way I view it is also, participating in sports and relating it to that. There are always going to be certain people, like you just said, who don't like you for a specific reason, even if a reason wasn't really given, or
Mm-hmm.
people who act a certain way. There's always going to be people like that in every kind of community. You just gotta kind of find your group and stick with that.
True. This is like mainly the reason I didn't compare the two of them because football, hockey, and sometimes soccer equals fights.
Yeah.
Same with the cosplay community too. I just been lucky to not have an instance with that. Even though it's been 5 instances where that almost happened, but it's just like football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 56 penalties in my career and ended up fighting about 30 something times. Yeah, good times. But it's just when it comes to that, I can't really put a comparison into that. It's like you're gonna experience that no matter what community you're gonna be in, so you're not wrong on that. It's just when it comes to that, I'm more irritated when it comes to encountering those people in the cosplay community more than I do sports. Just when I encounter somebody like that in the cosplay community, me and that person is not friends years later. When I count that in football, somehow, some way, me and that person are good friends. I mean, we was enemies years ago, but it's like that kind of like goes on like the topics of just like I think I said this in my story. It's just like I can't really tell people to not cosplay this certain character, not do this, not do that, because like you can be black, white, Asian, Indonesian, whatever ethnicity that you are in cosplay, and it's just I don't know why that's a huge debate for some reason that people thinking, oh, you can't cosplay this certain character because of your skin color. I'm not really appreciative of that. And I don't know what's your take on that, but I don't appreciate that type of notion.
I always thought cosplay was just an accepting community where it's supposed to bring people together. And when we kind of start tearing each other down, I feel like that really takes away from the whole inclusivity of cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Years ago, um, before I think cosplay and anime became a lot more mainstream, and I think it did when COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
um, people used to think if you cosplayed or watched anime, and there's still that stigma around it that you were a weirdo, pretty much, to say it kind of bluntly. And to think that this could be like a safe community for a lot of people to share their common interests for that kind of judgment to still be held in here, it seems really immature to me.
Look, I agree with that 100% because I've called so many people out over the years of just going to the con because like I don't feel like you should be judgmental of somebody that's willing to go in depth with that character.
Yeah.
That's like me asking you how willing you are to go far into that character. I mean, obviously, like you went into character for what's her name, Farron?
Oh, Farron,
Yeah,
yeah.
you went into character for Farron. Like you went into character for that, but it's just like I can't be judgmental of somebody that went into character because obviously they love like doing the character for this person. Like I can't say anything about that. Like, let the person have fun with that character and not be judgmental because I know I've received like a lot of stuff from like, people who's just being like, you can't tell people like not to, you know, tell people to like to not cosplay, excuse me, not to be rude to people that's cosplaying a certain character because of their skin color. I was like, well, that's kind of funny coming from you because you can't tell people to not cosplay the cosplay the character because let's say because because they're black, right? Because of their skin color. Like you can't say they can't cosplay that because they still going to do it anyway. That's their choice. Because I'm gonna keep telling them, you cosplay that character, you do what you want. Because like that's why I was telling people, I'm not gonna be surprised if people cosplay my characters. I just be like, take pride in doing it. If somebody be rude, let me know.
Mhm.
It's just I can't. That's like an annoying contact that you have to wear for a cosplay that you can't get out. Because I hate wearing contacts when it comes to cosplay. I don't know about you.
I do not wear contacts. I give a shout out to people who wear contacts. I am too scared to put anything in my eyeball. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's like thank God I got a friend that knows what she's doing when it comes to making contacts. Because I told her I'm surprised I ain't go blind because of that yet. But it's like I'm still not gonna wear contacts. I was like, no disrespect to you. I'm just not trying to have pink eye again. And it's just like because she went into a debate about me on how I save money for cosplay. I was like, look, if I have pants that resembles a certain pants of a character, obviously I'm gonna wear that. If I don't got the shirt, I'm gonna get the shirt. But if I got things around my closet that resembles the characters, obviously I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Because like, I'm not gonna stay straight on to like to the character and stuff like that. That's like me asking people what got you in the like what was the reason that you got into cosplay?
Oh, I just like I like dressing up. I really didn't have any like in-depth reason. I just thought it was fun. And it's also like a good outlet for your creativity to come through.
Mm-hmm.
I was always, I would say, somewhat artistic,
Mm-hmm.
and it was definitely a way for me to come up with different ideas and things to make and stuff like that, and just to be creative in a different way. So
And when
maybe,
you said, oh,
yeah.
go.
Oh, I said maybe it wasn't just, the only reason was just dressing up, but it was always fun.
And you said creativity. You do art too?
I used to draw a lot. I don't really anymore.
Come on, you can't say you can't say used to.
I
Because I
can
know
like do
you
a little sketch and stuff here and there, but like, is it great? No. But
not every art is gonna be great as long as you having fun doing it.
that's true. I've noticed a lot more. It's been yeah, like I don't really draw much anymore. I'll paint like a li tiny little bit here and there. But like when it comes to
Is it really a
cos
tiny little bit?
yeah, tiny, tiny, a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
But when it comes to cosplay, I've just noticed doing like some small things here and there to kind of up the cosplay of a character.
Now let me ask this. Do you paint on your cosplays to like get that certain color in?
I guess it depends. I'm not really.
See, I caught you. You said you don't paint a little bit. If you paint on your cosplays, that means you paint a lot. It
Well, I guess it does. It depends. And it depends
depends.
what kind of painting too. I've been doing a lot of spray painting recently, just with cosplays.
Hmm.
Um, I guess it just depends, yeah.
Come on, you can't say a little bit if you spray painting your stuff. That's a lot of paint.
Yeah, I guess one way I like whenever I view myself doing things, I always kind of downplay everything. I'm like, oh, it's just like I
Mm-mm.
don't know.
Nope. Mm-mm. You know me by now. You know. look, this is like the last person I had on, not like a couple weeks back. You can't downplay everything that you do because you're not gonna have fun in something if you just downplay it all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm saying this to you right now. I'm saying this as just a random dude. You can't downplay everything that you do. Like
Yeah.
if somebody try to downplay what you do, like don't listen to them because like I got plenty of people trying to downplay what I do. But do I listen to them? There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, but like
Mhm.
trying to downplay somebody and saying that, oh, they suck, you ain't gonna make it. I mean, we all make it in different ways, but like just trying to like downplay yourself, like I don't think that's appropriate. So for me to you, I would say don't downplay yourself because well, from what I've seen, I think you're pretty good at what you do. It's like, I've the crazy part when I met you, I've noticed that the second off the I noticed that the millisecond, the moment you talked, I was like, okay, she loves cosplaying, but I can tell she downplays her stuff a lot. And I ain't say anything because it was not applicable to say anything. Obviously we were having, obviously everybody was having a good time. Like we was at like parties and stuff. We was having a good time. But at the end of the day, it's just like just try not to like, downplay yourself. Like take pride in take pride in doing this. Because obviously I know you got friends that say the same thing.
Mhm.
Because because who was I was talking about this with? I think it was because I'm always sharing her cosplays in my stories. Donna,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
Donna
know her.
cosplay. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Because like I know it's like she always goes out and everything, and I think from meeting her one time, I think she was at Oscar too, I believe, right?
Yeah, we were both judges at Awesome Con.
Yeah, and from talking with her, I was like, okay, her confidence is through the goddamn roof. It scares me because it reminds me of me when I play football, and I didn't like that. Like no, like I love having the confidence. I just didn't like how cocky I was. That's what I
Mhm.
got from her. I was like, yeah, she reminds me of me. I appreciate that. So for me to you, always take pride in what you do. Just don't downplay yourself because obviously, if you feel like what's the word? If you feel like okay, this is not going to be right, I would say, let's say you cosplaying like a certain character or something. Like let's say I'm gonna use my dress up darling as an example, right? I can't stand the anime because I'm a grown man. Like I can't stand the anime. But obviously you know why. But like I'm a grown dude. But like let's say you cosplay as Marin, right? And you thinking like, okay, this is not gonna be right. Okay, get two shirts, use one of them, spray paint it as a counter copy, and then once you got a good image of what you're doing, then you're good right there. Like that's how I always view things. Cause like I think you're pretty damn good at what you do. It's just it's just a downplay because you knew I was gonna get you on that. It's like you just don't downplay certain things that you do because you are very damn good at what you do. It's just like downplaying is like so like what are the reasons you kind of downplay yourself?
I think, and it's not so much as to say like I don't like the way this looks or something of that nature. I think I get so overloaded, but
Mm-hmm.
depending on what I'm doing, I kind of play it off like, oh, well, I just painted that. No, it wasn't too hard. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of, and I've noticed a lot of people over time have told me, like, you're doing a lot. And sometimes I just feel like I'm not doing that much, but obviously to other people and how they view it differently than I guess how, you know, you would. Because we all are our own like biggest self-critics at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. I would say to help out with that is because I can tell from you you do a lot of cosplays at the last minute.
Yeah.
So the one thing you want to do with that is like if it's too early, because for me, I gotta have stuff months beforehand. Like if that's too early, then that's fine. But it's just like you gotta have stuff like months beforehand, and then continuously working on them over the course of the month. Because like what we're 5 months from Otakon, Like just continue on it like months on hand, so you can have enough time so you won't have to rush at the last minute.
That's what I've been doing. I already have my lineup all set up, and low key, I'm actually starting to prepare for MagFest, actually.
Oh, I took care of that like literally last. I took care of that like MagFest this year. I already took care of that, and same for KatsuCon too, because I'll be working there again, but it's just like I already took care of a lot of things. So that's why I was telling people. I was like, you may want to take care of things early. Like, I understand if certain things come up, like scheduling wise, that you can't work on this, let's say for a few weeks. But the timing is just the niche in the kettle for me that I still got to work on.
Mhm.
So so it's just like like I said, you're good at what you do. You're good at what you do. Like that. That's no question. At the end of the day, you gotta just don't downplay yourself. Like because the more you downplay yourself, the more you continuously doing it. You didn't think I noticed that. Because I noticed that when I was talking to you, and as I'm looking at you, I was like, okay, she takes pride in what she does. She loves the cosplay, but she keeps downplaying herself, thinking, okay, this is not going to look good. When clearly, from what other people are saying, come on, Jamie, like you know how many people commented on your Farron cosplay at AwesomeCon?
Yeah, there was a couple, yeah. I
A couple.
guess it's also maybe just falls into place where of how I view myself, and I don't view myself different compared to anybody else,
Oh
really.
no, that makes sense.
Something
That
like
makes sense.
that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just, like we said, we view ourselves as human and stuff like that. But, it's just, I know some people that view me as a loser. I kind of view myself as the upper echelons of that. And it's just, I kind of, you know, people don't want people to view themselves as that. I kind of want them to view themselves as like, have fun regardless of what other people say,
Oh yeah.
So it's just, from me to you, it's just like you can't view yourself like that, Jamie.
Yeah. You got to be confident, and like you said, just have fun with it overall.
Oh
That's
no,
the
you
main.
were very oh no, you were a very shy individual. I noticed that too.
I'm a what?
I noticed that you're very shy sometimes.
Oh, I guess it just depends on the day or how social I'm feeling or how drained I'm feeling as well. Because sometimes I'll just kind of zone out and just
No, because like remember when I talked to you that Oscar, you noticed that I maintained the distance between you two? You don't know, you don't remember that?
no.
Okay, figures. No,
Sorry.
when I was talking to you before we took that selfie, I kind of maintained the distance a little bit, and I was like, you don't gotta be nervous. I'm just compensating here because like I was like, it's obviously I was tired too because it's awesome con for crying out loud. So I was like, obviously we just trying to have fun. Like you're a good friend, so I was like, obviously I got to check on, make sure people are good and everything. So that's how I am. The majority of times when I'm at at these events, so it's just like that goes upon the lines of like me being in character because like I'm a comedic type of a person, and it's just like it's just like I always ask myself like when I cosplay, do I just stick to these things with conventions or events only? Like that's kind of a question that's been stuck on my mind for like months now. I can't just stick with these for conventions. I don't know about you.
Cosplaying?
Yeah, like do you just stick with it to conventions or events in general? Well, and events in general.
Typically, I do a lot of yeah, conventions and anime events, but I'll go out and we'll do photo shoots out in just public. Like we went and saw the cherry blossoms. I think that was 2 weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
we were playing Farron and Fern, and we were just walking around having a good time. I think, and I've noticed, I'm like, if I go to a convention and I don't cosplay, I'm gonna feel kind of weird and like out of so
I would say the same thing, but I go along the lines of me just not wanting to sweat.
that too, yeah,
But it's
and just
just like
too the
you said,
weather.
well, yeah, true. Like if it's cold, then yeah, I would definitely continue wearing it. But if it's hot, no. That's like
Yeah.
that's like that's like going between the niche of like the least expensive cosplay and then the most expensive. Like, what was the most like least expensive cosplay you ever did?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say, um, it's like that was like 30, 60, maybe like I'm gonna say around like 50 to 80.
I don't know why part of me still considers that expensive, but but it isn't though.
Well, it kind of is. And
I did,
that character is only it's a bathing suit, a wig, and a necklace. That's all she is. And that's not even including makeup or anything like that. Like I had to get specific makeup for her because cosplay is expensive nowadays.
yeah.
And I'm
I
a
mean,
stickler when it comes to being exact. And I guess sometimes if you don't have exactly what you need, I'll go and get those things. But closet cosplays are great too. And like you said, finding accessories that or things you already have that you can use for a character is great because it can help save money and it doesn't really make a difference in the cosplay or the quality.
yeah. I mean, for me, I'm not really much of a. I mean, I'm not much for the stickler. I'm just like, if I don't got it, I don't got it. So I tried not to. It's just I never really, besides Mr. Hagane Zunka and Toby from I mean, Toby from Naruto. It's just like I never got into depth with cosplay because I might do that with Miguel from JJK coming up. So we'll,
Oh, that'll be fun.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. I just need to figure out something. But I feel like his cosplay is like literally that simple though. But I was like, I may have to go bald for this because that's what my intentions of doing these days. And then it's just people always also wanted me to help out with the photo shoot too. And I'd be telling people, I'd be telling people, I'd be like, if you take a picture, let me slide past because I will photobomb that. Like at Katsu, I photobombed so many photos. Somebody just labeled me as just this random dude. I was like, okay, I'll take it. At least they didn't label me as the random black dude like last time. Oh, that was funny.
Some people just the nerve people have.
Oh no, 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 no. When it comes to comedy like that, I don't mind that as long as you're not going crazy. So I don't mind that stuff. It's just, it's like I don't take stuff like that or like certain cosplay like that seriously to the point where I'm bleeding for my art. I don't do that. It's just like, okay, we got this certain niche. If you just joking about that, that's fine as long as you mean it as a positive route, like nothing crazy or anything.
I do want to add to that one part real quick because I think a lot of times too, when you're getting pictures and there are people in the background, those are like considered hall shots at conventions. And there's nothing wrong with hall shots, but I don't know if I'd go to the extent of like, were they doing it in like a joking manner? It kind of sounds like when they had said that.
I was doing it as a joking man because I saw somebody was taking pictures, and I told them specifically, if
Mhm.
I'm in there, I will make this so badly worse that it'll be just a comedic shot. You're gonna hate me for days because at Katsu, um, I ran into a lot of photographers that were pretty cool, especially my boy Felix Wong. He's pretty good at his work. Yeah, Felix, like I love that dude. And it's just like from working with him, it's like a lot of comfort that you get from a photographer. Now, that I've experienced a lot of photographers at Katsu that was way too cocky that I almost lost my mind on, that I almost punched one. Yes, I'm man to admit that. That's the type of notion that I don't appreciate. It's just like, okay, like why'd you roll my shot? When I already let you know I'm gonna be slithering past. Like if somebody
Yeah,
lets you know you can't be rude. You said what?
as long as you let people like, no, like I'm just gonna get through quick, or you're trying to be like, courteous to them as well. But they shouldn't get mad about that. It's a convention. People are gonna be around. You know what I mean? It's almost inevitable to not get people in the shot or like
Exactly. I told people that numerous times, and I was just like, look, you can't be mad at me for like giving you the initiative of just being like, okay, cool, like just try to, you know, do this and everything, and just like don't be rude to somebody if they're letting you know, like, hey, like, we just trying to get past because like a lot of people ain't gonna stay in the same spot. Like on Friday at concert, I was at the gazebo for like 6 hours just chilling and talking to people. You said, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I know."
That's a lot.
Oh no, no, no. It's just so for Katsu.
Fun though. No, I wish I was at the gazebo more. I was just thinking 6 hours and I was kind of relating to my Katsu experience. I'm like,
So it was like for this year for Katsu, the plan was not to have that much fun.
mhm.
I already left at the Mag Fest because I don't remember much from there. The plan was not to have fun it was not to have fun at Katsu. It was just to work, meet people, talk to people and everything too. But it was not to have this much fun.
Mhm.
And that ended up happening. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like Friday, we were just partying. We were just like having fun in the gazebo, just talking to people that I knew cosplay wise and everything. And then my friend Jamon, loved that brother. Um, he was introducing me to, his peeps that he knew and everything. And then some of them knew who I was when I didn't even know that they knew who I was. So it was kind of weird a little bit. And then it was just a bunch of think nurses just cosplaying and everything, giving everybody vodka shots or whatever. I was like, no, I can't do it. And then Saturday, we had those raves and everything. Oh my lord, the raves were like it was just fun because like me and my friend Ty, we actually were responsible for like three of the mosh pits that happened. I was
Oops.
like, look, we just want y'all to have fun and everything too. And then while we was there, I was telling him this. I was literally talking to him about this like literally yesterday with a friend of ours, and and I was like, I just realized a couple because when we got done with the rave on Saturday, a lot of female cosplayers was like, we appreciate you, being mindful and stuff like that. I was like, wait, being mindful of what? They were saying, being courteous, not being weird, not being oh man, how much I had to drink that day. And just just being courteous because like I always tell people in my stories, it's like if it's like I'm gonna be checking on people more than I check myself, whether I'm having fun or not. That's just the type of
Yeah.
person I am. And a lot of people are appreciative of that. I was like, I appreciate you telling me that, but I'm gonna go to sleep. And people are very, I'm very curious about that. That's why when I was talking to you, I was like, "You good?" And then when you
Mhm.
said yes to me, and I was like, "Do I got to beat anybody up?" And that got you confused for like a few minutes. I was like, I mean,
Just second.
you never
You never
know,
know.
but it's
You
just like
never know.
it's just like I'm always like that. And the funny thing, I'm usually not like this with people when like I've literally just like, we literally didn't just meet. We knew each other beforehand, but it's like I usually don't do that with people like I have short on conversations with because like at conventions I just be like saying hello to people, and if I see them be like, "You have fun," I'm gonna go. I always be telling people, just try to have fun, no matter what you do, because people are gonna they judgmental in this world, and I don't want people to not have fun, because I always tell people if you're around me, it's gonna be a lot of funny stuff. Like a lot of it's gonna be a lot of fun joking. Like it's not gonna be any boring. It's not gonna be anything weird. Like if you around me, basically you got a security guard. So it's like that. But kind of like goes into like one thing. Like, did you like was it like anybody that influenced you cosplay, or like you said before, it's usually just because you wanted to dress up and have fun?
I don't know if there was anybody specifically that had influenced me. there are a lot of times where I will see other cosplayers. I'm like, wow, you're like this looks great, or I'll get inspiration from the like a photo they take and how they pose, or a
Mm-hmm.
prop or a character. I'm like, wow, I really like how they did that character. I've been wanting to do them. This kind of makes me want to cosplay this character more. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
one person per se that's inspired me, but there's been so many different people who
Mm-hmm.
I admire um that have really I didn't know that at first when I started cosplaying either. It's more been like past couple of months as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, really, ain't had influence either. So I just try to like, do things on my own accord that kind of just be like, okay, what could be more applicable to this? Like, what can I have fun with, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that I would say that type of thing is just more appreciative of people. And I always tell people, always have fun, what you do and all that. But at the end of the day, like if you because I notice a lot of people do this type of thing just to make friends in this community. Even though I'm gonna be very blunt right now, you will encounter a lot of good friends in this community, but you encounter a lot of bad people in this community too. And I'm the type of person that be like, oh no, you will encounter a lot of loyal friends in this community, but you will encounter so much drama in this community. And you said what?
I was just agreeing.
Yeah, and it's just like I will always tell people you're gonna do cosplay, keep your circles small or medium. There's nothing wrong with having a big circle. Just make sure you have the circle of loyal people. Cause like Because like the funny thing, we don't talk a lot from time to time. Obviously, we both busy and everything too. But obviously, I check on you just to make sure you're good and all that. You're part of the Wolf Shade Circle, even though you don't know what that means. But you know, you're part of the Wolf Shade Circle, and I'm just making sure, make sure you're good and everything and all this other stuff. Because like I don't know if you know this, right? At Katsu, like I said, my main reasoning was not to have fun, right? Obviously, you know me as the worm guy, right? I hate myself for giving that name, but obviously you know me. I like to dance. I love to have fun. I love to make people laugh. That's what I love to do. Why? It was a rumor at Cotton, right? And I know one person is gonna be salty for me bringing this up. I don't care anymore. So, because me and that person is not friends anymore. So they were mad because like I said, I normally focus on people, make sure they're good more than I focus on myself. For some reason, people are not appreciative of that type of thing because it's just like, what's wrong with checking on people? What's wrong with making sure they're good? What's wrong with making sure they're happy? What's making sure that I don't have to beat up somebody in the middle of the process? Like, what's the problem with that? And it's just like, and it was her and her boyfriend too. I'll explain that story afterwards, but it's just like they wasn't appreciative of just me caring about others, and that's what I've always been. And I said to myself after that friendship ended, I was just like, it sucks that you're going to encounter a lot of people like that just for you being caring.
Mhm.
Never expected that. Do
I
I
don't
give a,
think,
huh?
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've never been unappreciative of someone just checking in on you because I know with a convention, it's a very overstimulating environment and people react differently. So I don't know why that's something to like, I don't know. I've never been upset at someone being like, you good? It's like, yeah.
I would not begin to tell you how much that was a wake up call for me. I was like, dang. So I was like, dang. So people get mad at me, just being myself, just checking on people, just like I remember somebody got mad at me for not caring. Like I was asleep. Like you think I'm a care when I'm knocked out? Like,
My bad, bro.
like if it's on a week, here's the thing. You know what's funny though? I just realized. I remember you messaged me on the weekend, right? And remember I messaged you like 2 minutes later? It was like at 4 o'clock. Oh yeah, I forgot we on the same time zone. I'm such an idiot. Like you replied to me at 1 o'clock in the morning and I was knocked out, right? The moment I got the notification, I was like, oh shoot, Jamie. Oh shoot. And I kept dropping my phone, right? I was like, okay. And pick up my phone, see what anything that she needs, checked, and see you replied to me. I was like, okay, cool. That was sweet of her. Not really, but like, but
Yeah.
like, but yeah, it's like you replied, and I replied back to make sure you was good, and then called it a day and went back to sleep. Like it's like that. Like obviously it's just people. I like I said, that was a complete wake up call. That threw me off for a loop for like a whole month. I was just like, man, it's okay. But what time is it? 9:25. But yeah, but anything else you wanna talk about before we sign off?
Um, hmm. Um, I'm
We
kind
can
of blank.
save it for part two.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. I think we had
I
a lot of good topics and things to discuss involving cosplay and regarding the community and things of that nature.
The funny thing, remember when I said earlier, like I had a train of thought with the questions, even though I asked the questions already, it was just going to be complete mind blown stuff. Well, not mind blown, but just mind blank stuff. I did not expect the full pull through today. But we'll just save that for part two. But anyway, thanks for everybody checking, this episode up and everything. Like I said, we on episode 51. Thank you for one of my good friends, Miss Jamie, for joining me today. We got to at least pull through next week and actually have topic at hands to talk about and everything. And make sure you all check her out on Jamie Cosplays. I don't, as that's the only stuff that you, Instagram, social media.
That's the only social media I really post on.
Okay, so just check her out on Jamie Cosplays. And I will let you know, people that are watching this right now, if I find out you be rude to this nice lady, I will mess you up because she is the sweetest person, one of the sweetest people I ever met. If I find out you being rude to her, it's not gonna be pretty. So please do not be rude to her. Check her out, show her some love, because I'm gonna be doing that in the next 5 minutes every hour. So yeah, so check it out. We will come at you with part two and deuces. You stay here, Jamie.
Okay.